Alright, so with your thumb, you want to be measuring how many miles it is for this trip, right?
Okay,
so 4,
8,
12, so it's about 12 miles. So if you're doing 60, if you're doing a mile a minute, it would be 12 miles would take you 12 minutes, right?
Right, correct.
So let's write down 12 minutes somewhere.
12 minutes.
Hey guys, so...
Oh. Passing overhead, they'll be fairly high, 4,000 and above. Radar service terminated, you're clear.
Wait, bro, India.
Lima Bravo, India.
Alright, so we're just out here doing some diversion practice. So on our map, we're just figuring out basically if we had to divert from our current route to a new route, how would we figure that out in the air? So that's what Sarka's working on right now. And so we figured out it's 12 minutes. What was our time off? Did we write that down?
8:16.
Okay, plus 12 minutes equals?
8:28.
8:28, alright. So it looks like our ETA then would be 8:28 to our destination. So we'll jot that down.
Perfect.
And the last two things are what?
Radio.
Okay, so we'll switch frequencies in a second, or you can switch frequencies now. And then we also want to make a call, or a mock call anyways, to FSS to let them know that we're diverting.
Okay.
And then lastly, if you look at your time, do we have enough fuel to get to our destination?
We do.
Okay, we got enough fuel, excellent. That's good, and we're referencing that with our grounding time that we wrote down in the beginning, right? Perfect. Awesome, looks good. Alright, so we're out here trying to find our spot, because that's now the most important part. So let's prove that we know where we are here. So we're looking at our map, and we've got a bunch of references. You got your finger there by a bunch of references. So you just pointed out, Hatzik Lake. We got Hatzik Lake right there. And then we've got this little river right by Dudney. And then we're looking for this creek up here, Norris Creek. So if we look out the window, we can see right here is that creek that we saw going around. There's Hatzik Lake right over there. And then this valley is the valley that we're looking for. That's Norris Creek. And so we're going to be working our way up Norris Creek, trying to find our way to Dixon Lake.
Ooh.
Alright, so Dixon Lake is all the way right up there, up in the middle of nowhere. So, alright, so
almost there.
Yeah, we see some power lines. If we have a look at our map here, we can see right there is a set of power lines. And those power lines are showing up right off in the distance right over there. So that's exciting. So that means if we're looking at the power lines on the map here, we should have, there's the power lines right there, should have the lake right after it, right up there, right?
Yep.
So maybe, just maybe, up in that little valley right there, we're going to see Dixon Lake. What do you think?
Woohoo! Exciting!
Alright, it's like a treasure map here. So you can see the power lines, just like on the map, they go up and over the hill over there, and then there's a valley that kind of diverts off to the right that way. And as we come up and over the power lines, what are we seeing up ahead there?
Dixon Lake.
Yeah, we're seeing Dixon Lake. Alright, so let's see what you're seeing here. What are you looking at?
So I'm seeing our positions like turning to the left. So we should be there pretty soon.
Okay.
And then there's supposed to be one creek right there.
Alright, so we can see, pretty hard to see, but there is a creek down in there in those trees. If you look straight down there, you can see the water.
The map says so.
Yeah, map shows it, so it's probably there unless it's all dried up. So what you're kind of saying is around this corner right here, there should be a lake in there somewhere, eh?
Yes, correct.
Alright, we're going to be looking for that.
Mount Briar up there. Mount Clark up there.
Okay.
Our lake.
Ooh, is that our lake right there?
Yes, looks like though.
Now, are we 100% sure that that's our lake right there?
I am pretty sure it's there.
Okay.
Can double check, cause then we are supposed to see it as the end of Stave Lake.
Okay, we should see the end of Stave Lake.
Which is actually right there.
Okay, so we're seeing Stave Lake right there. Why don't we fly over towards Stave Lake? Because we're supposed to technically be able to see the very end of Stave Lake, right?
Right.
Alright, let's go see where we are on Stave Lake. The lake looks like the right size and shape, right?
Yes, correct.
If we look there, yeah, that looks like pretty similar shape. So we should be able to fly, but the interesting thing is, from this lake, if we follow the valley out, we're going to be right at the tip of the lake, right?
Yes.
Well, let's have a look here. Now, interestingly, past Stave Lake, have a look at this. You see some more water over there?
Right, yeah, correct. There is a pit lake.
Interesting. You think that's Pit Lake already? That's an awful long ways from over there to over there.
Maybe it's
There's
Alouette
another
Lake. Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, but if we're seeing Alouette Lake...
We must be here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, then we are here.
Uh-oh. Did we go over Salisbury Lake instead?
We did.
Okay, so we should be at the very end of Stave Lake right now. And I'm not seeing the end of Stave Lake.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
coming
you're
around
right.
the corner here.
This must be a Salisbury Lake.
Oh, interesting.
These things happen.
Okay, well, let's figure out where we went wrong here. So we turned left right here. We came around the corner and we came down to Salisbury Lake. Instead of going one valley further, coming around the corner and going to that little lake right there. So now we're flying up Stave Lake. So let's go find that lake anyways. Because, yeah, like you say, mistakes do happen. We figure them out, and then we go figure out where we are and how we're going to get to the right spot. So we're going to fly up Stave Lake now. We're going to get to the end, then we'll hang a right, and then we'll get to that little lake right there. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so now we're at the end of Stave Lake. There's Stave River right in front of us there. And we're coming up the last valley to the right here at the end of the lake. And if we look at our map, there it is. So you can see the last valley right where your finger was coming up here. So we should just hook around the corner and see that lake kind of up in there now. So let's go have a look at that and see if we can actually find it. Yeah, it should be tucked in right up to the right there somewhere, right? So let's have a look at the features here of the mountain and see if anything makes sense to have a lake perched in. So it's going to be on the right here. Now it's not looking like it's going to be up there. That's not an ideal place for a lake. Ah, interesting. Maybe over there. Doesn't look like it could be perched in there anywhere. Now we have some waterfalls coming down here, and then a creek flowing down like that. Waterfalls are good. They usually come from lakes, right?
Here we come.
Hey! There it is. Nice.
So pretty.
Look at that, you found it. Perfect. So sometimes we make mistakes. We figure out where we are, that's the important part. And then once you figure out where you are, then you can figure out where you need to go from there to actually get to your spot. And sure enough, it only took us a few extra minutes. What time is it now? It's
8:45.
8:45. We were supposed to get here at, I think you've written down 8:40.
Yeah, 8:40.
So we're 5 minutes late, not the end of the world, but we found the spot at the end of the day, so that's the most important part.
Oh, another surprise.
Alright, so we're just trying to find another lake here. This little guy, I called it Kunzelman. I'm not sure if that's really the name of it, but anyways, yeah, so just where your finger was there to the west a little bit of the tip of Stave Lake. That's where we're headed, and so there's the Stave River down there, and if we have a look, we can see some water up there, so that's probably the lake, right up in there. That's Mount Judge over there, and then Mount Robbie over there, and on the map we can see those mountains as well. So we got Mount Judge up there, and then Mount Robbie down there, Robbie Reed, and looks like we got another lake up here, so it's going to be where we're heading next. Alright, so we just landed at the lake here, and as you can see, beautiful view around, and we were just talking about power management, and being able to figure out if we had enough power to actually land here, so that was pretty cool. Peak here. So we're just coming up Mount Robbie right now, and as you can see there, we're climbing through 5,400 feet, and so we're going to attempt a landing here. I was just talking to Asharka here. We just did a landing at about 4,000 feet, and we were borderline on our power, and so we're just talking about power management today, and so theoretically, if we're borderline at 4,500 feet, there's absolutely no way we can land at the top of Robbie here, which is about 6,500 feet, so about 2,000 feet higher. Now, the other thing we were talking about is the only other variable, the only other factor that changes whether or not we can land somewhere is if there's wind. So if there's upflow wind on the side of the mountain, then we might be able to actually make this landing. So we'll see how it goes. right now we're max power. You can actually hear the horn going off. So we just have to lower the collective a little bit. There we go. Power's coming back on. And you can see the RPM there, top of the green. So that's good. So the chances of us landing up there are very, very slim. But if we have an upflow wind, we might be able to actually get it. So we'll see how it goes.
I'll pray.
You'll pray. The winds are pretty light today, but I am noticing right now we have about 35 knots on the airspeed indicator and about 27 knots on the ground speed. So that tells me that we have a bit of a headwind right now. And it looks like now it's about 32 and about 42. So there's about a 10 knot headwind right now. And so that might actually help us. We'll see how it goes here. All right, so let's see here. How excited are you right now?
So exciting.
So Shark is just telling me this is a dream come true for her. So we're sitting at the top of Mount Robbie at 6,500 feet, and it is 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so fairly warm, not terribly warm. And as you can see, there's Stave Lake kind of in the background there. We were borderline on this landing. So what happened was we tried coming in, approaching that direction right there, and it was too close. Like it was borderline, but we didn't quite have enough power for it. But then we checked the wind, and we decided the wind was coming a little bit more from over here, and so we shot our approach coming in this way, and then that was actually doable. We were able to hover outer ground effect, just barely, but we were able to do it, and so we were able to come in for landing. Now there's a really nice helipad right there, just getting exposed now. The snow has melted off, but we're not able to land there just because that would have been too much out of the wind. Would have been a quite crosswind there, and we wouldn't have had enough power for that. So we decided to land on the snow here, right next to the towers. All right, so Sharka just took off from the top of Mount Robbie, and we're leaving it in the dust back behind us there. And there it goes. And yeah, fantastic job. So this is just a real rough intro into a mountain course. Obviously, in the commercial course, we don't get a whole lot of mountain training, but we definitely like to give it some. And so this is a nice introduction to that, and just talking about power management today, because that's such a crucial thing to learn how to manage.
Good morning.
I'm not sure I actually believe my face right now, my eyes right now. It is 7 a.m. and our friend John is here. This is unheard of. I've never seen you here this early. What's going on?
Well, I wanted to make you a surprise.
Well, that's good surprise. I think we got to get you out flying.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sunny day out there, and
it is, yes.
it's good for flying. Wow, I'm pretty shocked, that's for sure.
All right, so yeah, we're just here today. It is Thursday morning, and we're practicing a new exercise called forced approaches. And what a forced approach is, basically, it's when I give Ashlyn here a surprise auto rotation. And auto rotations is something that we do in a helicopter if the engine were to quit. And it's a very unlikely thing to happen, but we want to practice for any situation, so we practice for that. And yeah, so what's going to be basically happening today, we're going to be flying along, and I'm just going to randomly yell engine failure and start rolling our throttle off. And what do? What's the first thing you do when the engine quits?
Collective down.
Yeah, collective down. You don't scream, "We're gonna die!"
Are you sure?
Yeah, that wouldn't be the best thing to do. The best thing is get the collective down. That way we can flatten the pitch on the blades and then start gliding the helicopter down. Second thing that we do is we look for a target. So we've got to figure out where we're going to go. So if the engine were to quit right now, I'd probably be targeting kind of one of these fields out in front of us here to aim for. I probably wouldn't want to go for the river over there. And other than that, not anything else great around us here at the moment. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be practicing today. So we'll see if we can capture a couple of those. Engine failure. Alright, way better reaction on that one. So collective's down, aiming
Rotor,
for our
motor,
target. Rotor,
airspeed
motor,
trim.
airspeed trim. Good,
There you
getting
go.
our engine RPM back to 2,000. We've got our target, let's go for that field right there. Mayday, warn passengers.
Cause and cure, fuel and electrics off.
Awesome, heading down for our spot here. And make sure we get 60 knots. So we are just headed right now up to Widgeon Lake, and as you can see out in front of us, there's a nice waterfall coming down from Widgeon Lake, and you can already start to see the edge of it right there. And I think we're going to go try and land on the famous rock up at Widgeon Lake. There's a big flat rock up there, kind of right there. And so we'll see if we can go over there and do a landing, and then we'll also see if the water's low enough for us to land on the beach at the edge of the lake as well. It's been up too high lately, hasn't run off yet, but we'll go see if we can do that. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Alright, sounds fun. Alright, so here we are, just landed at Widgeon Lake and got ourselves a sweet spot. Does look like the beach is exposed now, so we got lots of cool landing spot here. And so here we are at Widgeon Lake, and then we're going to head over and see if we can do our landing on our sweet flat rock over there. Alright, so we just landed on the big rock here, and you gotta remember how I get off of it, but here we are. Woo! And I'm just gonna hop down so that I can get a photo for Ashlyn. So we're gonna come down here. That looks like a nice spot. All right. See if we can get a nice photo for her. Got a sweet rock wall in behind me here. What a cool spot here. Top of the world. Well, not really, but 3,000 feet. And there's Ashlyn sitting on a rock. All right, so we just landed here on the rock at Widgeon Lake. And if you look around here, we're back in the helicopter now and we are ready to go. So let's do it, Ashlyn.
All right.
And so we're just going to keep monitoring the RPM. Should be nice and high. That's good. Up we come. Bring it up another 5 feet, and then we'll just start sliding off to the right. Watch the trees in behind us there. And start easing forward on your cyclic, accelerating, building speed. That's good, keeping our height nice and high so we don't dip towards the water. And away we fly. Nice work. Alright. So if you thought the last spot was cool, you gotta check out this spot. It's gonna be hard with the camera to gain perspective of where we are. But you can see she's perched on top of a cliff here, and this might give you a little perspective. Of just where we are. So I'm gonna just run around, grab a couple of photos for her, and then we'll be off again. This spot will give you a little perspective as well. So now I'm on a rock out above her. Luckily I'm far enough away from the rotor blades, otherwise that wouldn't be very safe. You can see the huge rock wall in behind us. And so she's all excited, she's in there waving away. Woo! Yeah, right on. What a spot. Hey guys, so I just landed here with Sharka. You can see her in behind me here. And we're kind of at the top of the mountain. The clouds are just coming over top of us. You can see in behind me here. But we have some open area down in behind, so that's where we're going to be taking off. So we're just working on a little bit of low vis flying and seeing what our limits were for that. So that's where we are right now, and I'm pretty excited. I'll tell you more about this in the description of the video, but back in the 50s there was an airplane that crashed on the top of this mountain, and it's right here and behind me. And it's the first time this year that I've seen it because it's usually completely covered in snow. And right now, we can actually see there's some exposed airplane here. So here's part of the wing right here. There's a wheel over there. There's the prop over there. And so pretty crazy. There's some wild stuff up here. Later on in the summer, I'll come back here when the snow's all melted and we can take a better look at it. But here we are right now. I better get out of here before this cloud comes over and clouds us in and we can't get out of here. Morning everybody, it is Friday morning and it is July 1st, which is Canada Day. So happy Canada Day to all you that are in Canada. And Amy and I are just out on the rotary track this morning, as you can see here, because our gym's closed. Well, it's closed till 7, and that's a little bit late for us because we've got to be heading to work. And so anyways, it's the end of the week. I'm gonna edit up the vlog today and then post it up on Monday, because on Sunday Amy and I are taking off on our secret trip, and you guys will see where we went next week. So that should be fun. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the week,
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.